Good evening, everybody. This is Steak Saturday.
That was a bit over the top.
Your mom's over the top.
Welcome everybody to Steak Saturday episode 3. Hopefully we have this mic situation figured out. We kind of been dealing with that last hour, actually.
Are we still doing it?
So, the number one thing for me was, how was the steak? Tonight, I made bone-in ribeyes for me and Jay, and a boneless ribeye for his youngest daughter, Soraya. Her phone number is... I'm just kidding.
In case somebody wants to hit her
Anybody
up.
want to hit her up?
I just turned
Her phone
18.
number is, she's turned 18. She can vote and buy lottery tickets.
It's no longer a sex crime to send her dick pics.
Oh, God. That's too much. It's too much. Anyway.
I didn't even think about that.
No, it's time.
That's what we're talking about.
That's what we're talking about. So I did a little different situation today. I normally don't use actual garlic or thyme. I use, the garlic, salt, whatnot, and then I baste it with just butter. Today I crushed up some garlic, put it on the steak, fried the thyme a little bit in the pan, threw that thyme on the steak, and then I basted it. Then that was essentially your end result of that. It was a little much for me.
I thought that it made it smell it smelled terrific. But the taste was not too much for me. I feel like the way that you typically season it is more like bold and tastes better.
Right. I get that.
It had more of an aroma and not very much taste to me.
Yeah,
Which is fine.
accurate.
I don't even need you to season a steak.
Yeah, it's a steak. Yeah,
It can stand alone.
Right.
But
what do you think? What do you got so far?
It's good.
That was the longest thought process of all time.
Because I'm trying to pinpoint the differences. I just eat your steak. I get the plate, I pork it down.
that's what I do too.
It was pretty good. Not bad. I think I'm gonna skip the thyme and the garlic next time.
It was good. Whatever you normally do is better.
It's way better. Way better. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, so we're gonna stop doing that, essentially.
Or even sometimes you'll just salt it. That's good too.
You really can't fuck up a steak, even though it's over seasoned or maybe a little too much salt. It's still damn good.
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah,
that's the thing. So it was kind of crazy
if you cook it right. Maybe I could fuck up a steak.
Can you really? How can you fuck up a steak?
Burn it, overcook it.
Well, yeah, you could make it very well done,
Yeah.
and that's not good. But I don't think you could fuck up a steak, honestly. If you were just trying to be patient with it and really monitor what you're doing.
I don't do that.
I don't think you could fuck it up. Oh, excuse me, I am drinking beer, by the way.
What beer?
So you might hear me burp a lot.
This was our. Should we talk about what we're trying?
Oh, God.
What we tried.
Okay, so
It's
a Belgium beer. I don't know how to say that word. Leffe.
Leffe. I have no idea how
It's a blonde beer, which I don't know what that means.
Theo was out hunting for blondes.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm working for right now. So we're not going to talk about the personal life, because Jay would love that right now. We're. I wish her the best. She was awesome. So, move on. Let's move on. For the love of God. Jesus.
Now, the beer, this is what I was trying to talk about, was not good.
No, not good at all. I gotta grab a beer, so you're listening to me.
It was okay. It was fine.
It was fine when I first drank it, when I first take a gulp, but the aftertaste kind of got a little weird for me. I can't do it. You know, I'm drinking my Fat Tire because I love Fat Tire. If Fat Tire watches this and they want to send me a free case, that'd be great. But yeah. It was the aftertaste that killed it for me. You know, it just stuck with you. It was kind of weird. This week was kind of weird. It was kind of a weird week. It was kind of a slow week.
Slow at work.
Slow at work. You started playing. What was that game you started playing?
I started playing Super Mario World.
Super Mario World from
It's from Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo.
But I'm playing it on the old Switch. The old switcheroo.
It was pretty. It looks hilarious. Like I want to try it one of these days because I've mastered Super Mario Brothers 3 on the first NES.
You are a master of that game.
I feel like I'm a master. I feel like I'm a master. Now we saw on Reddit there was one guy that did it in like an hour and 15 or something, right?
Hour 9.
Hour 9?
Hour 9.
I don't know if I can beat it in hour 9. No,
I bet you could. If you were just going through, and if you weren't focusing on maxing out your extra lives, if you were just doing a speed run,
I might be able to finish it in hour 9. That's interesting. I mean, can I work? Can I go to
the
once I get
rules?
the whistle?
The rules on that Reddit forum were that it just had to be like a brand new game. You can't already have P wings from from beating it already or anything like that.
Right.
But I think anything that's in the game and officially you can't use any exploits or hacks or anything like that.
Right.
But anything that's part of the real game you can use, I think.
So all I got to do is warp and beat it. I could probably do that in 45 minutes. Honestly, I could probably do that in 45 minutes.
Really?
In the speedrunning community, it is kind of standard to either stream it or record it with a timer.
Well, let me try it first before I stream it.
Well, we can stream. We have all the.
People do. No, wait, that's not the point of speedrunning. Is to watch you fail and see how far you got when you failed.
I'm not a failure. We wrote a script, actually.
Yeah,
And I think it's right over there.
some bullet points.
Bullet points. We were going to talk about random things. I don't remember what they were.
I don't remember either.
I got pretty drunk last night, and I'm feeling a little hungover today, but now I'm feeling really good. I did write it down. The hell is that?
It's your notebook, but that's not them. It's not on a different page or something.
No, that's not Nydia. Right there. We were going to talk about steak, and then we were going to talk about life after death.
Oh shit!
Yeah, the other day.
That's kind of heavy.
The other day, I remember just crashing out hard, right? And it felt like I blinked. Like I fell asleep, and then all of a sudden it's 6:30 in the morning. I woke up, and it was literally like that, and it made me wonder, like life after death, because even though I was sleeping, I didn't realize I was sleeping. I didn't realize I was out that hard. Now, would that be like death?
Well, what you're talking about right there, that's just your conscious mind.
Yeah,
but your subconscious mind was doing all kinds of shit while you were asleep.
I get that, but like, how do you know when you're gone? How do you know that's happening? That's the question I have. Now, don't get me wrong. I want there to be an afterlife. I want I want to go see my relatives. I want it to be like an airport where you're coming down the escalator and everybody's got their little signs out. Yeah. Welcome home. Airports.
That's not like that.
That's what I envision that it would be awesome like that, where everybody's
You can't do that.
celebrating.
You can't do that at airports anymore.
Well, I mean,
The people are way like they can't even wait at the pickup there. You know, yeah.
well, you know what I mean. I
know what you mean.
In Earth world, you can't do that anymore. But like that's kind of what I picture is you're walking up to everybody that you ever knew, and they're all just happy to see you. That's what I picture and envision as the next life. But is it really like nothingness? Like you don't even realize. You don't know. You don't know nothing.
You're just gone.
You're just gone.
You just don't exist anymore.
Exactly. You just go to sleep and it's infinite. Essentially. And that's a scary thought, actually. But at the same time, like, it's not that scary because you don't know. You just cease to exist in the world.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about was, you know, when I blink like that and I go to sleep and it feels like I don't even sleep, I'm just waking up and it's already in the morning. Is that like how it is? You know what I mean? Religious beliefs, I get it. Don't get me wrong, I get it. I want there to be that, but the reality of it is it that? That's the question I have. And then can I imprint my brain on something to continue living? Like artificial intelligence.
That's an interesting thing because I could see it that, you know, afterlife being either of those things. Either you blink out, you don't exist anymore, or I could see it being like there's heaven and, you know, it's the airport and
Sorry, that was my sister calling.
and all that. But then when you talk about taking your brain and, you know, and downloading it onto a computer, let's say,
Right.
it wouldn't be you.
Yeah, but it's your brain.
But it's your
everything-
brain, it's your
everything
thoughts.
you
but,
are about.
But just the fact that it's like it couldn't be you makes me think that there is a soul and an afterlife and all that.
That's a good point.
'Cause it
I
wouldn't-
like that aspect.
It wouldn't be you. You wouldn't feel like, oh, I've been moved into a computer, now I'm in a computer. You know?
You ever watch that movie Lucy with Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah.
It's kind of what I envision as being put in a computer. Then next thing you know, I'm so advanced I can warp space time and, you know, molecules and different things of that nature. You know, I don't know. It's stupid.
Yeah.
It's stupid. Like, my fear is, you know, our artificial intelligence is getting a little too advanced to the point where it's going to be Terminator all over again. Skynet's going to go live and we're all going to be killed from nuclear war because
Skynet. That's what the Chinese folks call their...
that is so crazy.
That's what they call their little surveillance systems that have all the facial recognition and stuff. Like, they don't even need your face anymore. Like, if you wore a bag over your head, they'd still know it's you
Oh my god.
by your build and
That
by
is
the way that you
creepy,
move.
actually.
Yeah.
And
They call it Skynet.
oh my god. That tells me that the shit's gonna go nuts at some point. That kind of tells me like John Connor is gonna come out of nowhere. You know what's even worse is how many John Connors are in this world right now. One of them's gotta be our savior. Well, it's a pretty common name, right? John Connor.
Thanks for dinner.
Huh?
No problem. Did you like it? What do you think? By the
Very
way.
good.
Okay, awesome.
Filling tonight. I don't know.
That's what I think. Like, I'm a little worried about this AI situation. Like, did we not learn from the movies we make in life? You know what I mean? It's kind of a thing.
It could definitely go horrifically wrong.
Horrifically wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is something Elon Musk did a whole freaking like publicity tour warning people about, you know, that we need to have regulations on AI because of how bad it could go.
I get that.
And he has an inside scoop on what it is. Because the Tesla self-driving stuff is like, one of the most...
That's kind of creepy for me. Like, I don't know if I could just sit there and feel comfortable with a vehicle driving itself.
I'd be worried about it for a while.
Yeah.
It'd take a while to get comfortable with it.
I feel like there needs to be some sort of, railways installed to know when the car's to pick up, as it's going down the road, to pick up this or that, or other vehicles, whatever it may be, deer or whatever you want to do. Mainly if you're like in Montana or Wyoming, if deer is jumping on you, you don't want to just hit it and just keep going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a scary thought. Yeah. I mean, if Shrek jumps out, you're dead.
What's worse, hitting Shrek or a moose?
I would say the moose, because the moose is probably way bigger than Shrek. Shrek could probably ride a moose. That's the thing about a moose. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen a moose up front, but they're fucking huge.
Yeah, if you ever see a moose... All right, one time I was driving through the mountains.
Okay.
And there's a pasture out the driver's side of the work van.
Okay.
And I was looking out there as a moose, great big moose, and it was running away from where I was.
Okay.
And when I got to a point where I was straight behind the moose, I swear to you that looks like a Bigfoot running off into the woods. That's what it looks like. If you see a moose straight from behind and it's running away, you'd think you just saw Sasquatch.
Well, that brings up the question of, like, is that what people are seeing when they see Sasquatch?
I wouldn't be surprised if it was some of the time.
I feel like we know what moose are. We know what grizzly bears are. We know what deer are. We know almost every animal in our living world right now. Would you say that's correct?
No.
No.
Maybe as far as, mammals. Okay, we know the mammals.
Okay, anything living on a continent, we kind of know what it is, correct?
Kind of.
What do you mean, kind of?
I mean, new things, they still discover new stuff.
Like what? What was the last thing they discovered?
The fuck do I look like? But I know it happens.
You look like a paleontologist. That's what you look like.
Shit, animals, get extinct and new animals are discovered all the time.
At this point in our life, we kind of know the big known things in the world.
Big things,
yeah. 99%, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, that's my argument when it comes to Bigfoot.
Sure.
I get he's the best hide-and-seek player in the world. But we had to have better evidence.
Well, here's the thing here's what's tricky about believing in Bigfoot. Is that in order to believe in something, whether it's Bigfoot or unicorns or God, you don't need any scientific proof.
Yeah, but that's faith when it comes to religion.
Belief is a choice.
I get that.
And I choose to believe in Bigfoot.
I'm not saying I don't believe in Bigfoot. I'm just creating the argument of we have so much technology at our disposal right now. Drones, videos, cameras.
I mean, didn't you ever see Harry and the Hendersons?
Yes, I saw Harry and the Hendersons.
There you go.
Look at John Lithgow at his
just like
at his best right there. That was John Lithgow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. But that was in the 80s. They didn't have drones. They didn't have camera phones. You know what I mean? He had that, Jeep Wrangler or whatever it was, driving in the wind. I can't remember what that vehicle is called, actually.
I think it's a Wagoneer.
Whatever we want to call it.
The Wrangler.
He had that, brown, part of the side of the vehicle.
Yeah, that wood
and
paneling.
The rest was red or yellow or
fancy.
Something weird, yeah.
We had a green station wagon.
Really?
With some of that wood paneling on the
side.
side.
Man, that sounds like Nightmare Christmas Story, that National Lampoon's Christmas Story, where they went out and get the big Christmas tree in their station wagon. Wow, that's old school shit right there.
That is old school shit.
They should bring that back, honestly. Just put some wood paneling on the new Kia.
We called that family vehicle the Pickle. Because it was like a station wagon. It was like a long green.
Yeah. They make really good boats back then. Like, you could drive a good boat, and you could feel it driving down the road, like you're just sailing across the road.
Those are pretty comfortable, man.
Oh man,
those tuna boats.
It's crazy. I would love that, honestly. If I could ever get a lot of money, people subscribe to our podcast.
A nice Cadillac or something.
Yeah,
like
somebody start me like one of those funding sites called shit.
A GoFundMe.
GoFundMe, yeah. Somebody start me a GoFundMe so I can buy a Cadillac. Yeah, big old boat situation. That'd be great. So yeah, it just boggles my mind that we don't have real footage. We always have this, shaky footage or, a quick pick. You know what I mean?
It always sucks.
It always sucks. Yeah.
They're good at hiding, man.
Come on. Again, technology we have today. That can't be a thing.
We also like living in society where we have technology and lights and houses. But nobody's hanging out in the middle of the fucking great outdoors.
Well, at the same time, people go hiking. They throw their drones out there.
Have you ever been across this country? It's a big fucking place.
It is a big fucking place. I get it.
Like, just think of the Grand Canyon, which on the map is like small, right?
But it's hundreds of miles.
It is.
Yeah.
That's my point. And there's not people all through there. You go to that fucking place and you stand there and you look out, or maybe you take a little hike through the thing. You're not all around it.
That's true.
There's a lot of places where they could.
That's probably
if somebody came through, they could hide. It's not that wild.
I get it. I'm just saying, like, up to this point, 2024, we don't have good evidence. We have sketchy evidence. We don't have good evidence.
Well, you know the story with the pandas, right?
No, what's the story with pandas?
Panda was a mythological creature.
I kind of want to go watch Kung Fu Panda 4.
Well, it would if you watched, you'd know a lot more about pandas.
I feel like Jack Black.
But no, nobody believed in him. It was a mythological creature. Somebody found like a fur or something, or they had a fur, and so they launched expeditions to find it. They couldn't find it. It took like 60 years of expeditions to find it.
Really?
And now we have pandas.
Wow, that's interesting, actually.
And everybody thought you're crazy if you believe in pandas. A bear that eats bamboo? Bears don't eat bamboo. Nothing eats bamboo.
That's an interesting situation. Well, maybe we have like 30 more years to go until we figure out these Bigfoot people.
Yeah, well.
I don't know. I feel like if I saw Bigfoot, I'd be like, Shrek!
I wonder if Shrek would ride a Bigfoot.
That'd be pretty awesome. He would just...
What's bigger, Bigfoot or Shrek?
I don't know. When it comes to the animated series, I feel like Shrek is pretty huge. Compared to Fiona when she was a human.
Yeah.
He had to be at least 7'6" or something. I would say something like that. He had to be pretty fucking huge. Andre the Giant status is what I would say. I love Andre the Giant, by the way. He's such an iconic guy. But I would say that. I would say he's huge like that. Big old, big body, big arms, tall. Yeah, Shrek was in real life.
How many Shrek movies are there?
I think there's 4, actually.
Man, I think I've only seen 2 of them.
Well, the first one's the best one.
They both were good.
I mean,
that honestly, I saw.
Who comes out with the Muffin Man? Honestly, I mean, no, his name is Gingy.
Gingy.
And he was all like, "Do you know the Muffin Man? And it is fucking hilariously phenomenal.
The Muffin Man?
Yeah, and you can tell it's a man trying to disguise his voice to be a lot higher pitched in a low tone. Do you know the Muffin Man? And that is fucking gold to me right there. That got me hooked onto the Shrek franchise.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then you had this fucking wolf that was dressed in women's clothing.
Not like
gumdrop
buttons.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And you know, there was Lord Farquaad, who wasn't a king. And he was trying to become a king. John Lithgow, yeah.
Once again.
Yeah. John Lithgow. That guy's the shit, actually.
Yeah.
Such a great actor. I've seen him in numerous things over the years. Numerous things. Harry and the Hendersons. Shrek, of course. God, what he
used to really like that show called Third Rock from the Sun.
Third Rock from the Sun.
That's a good one.
Yes.
They're aliens pretending to be people.
Yeah.
That's good.
He was in Dexter as the Holy Trinity.
Yeah.
God, what else was it? I remember watching him in like Twilight, the movie. I don't know if you remember Twilight. It was a scary TV show. Like it's supposed to scare the shit out of you. And that again, this is back in the early '80s, maybe even the mid to late '80s. They came out with a show called Twilight, the movie, or the Twilight, the show. And then they made a movie. And in the beginning of the movie, Dan Aykroyd is driving in this station wagon.
With wood panel?
He goes to pick up a hitchhiker. And he's like, yeah, I'm just driving there. And they have this long dialogue conversation. And he's like, you want to know something really scary? And he turns into like this werewolf or something and eats that hitchhiker. Something crazy. And then the next story is John Lithgow's on a plane. And he sees something, some sort of animal on the wing. And the animal's like eating the engine or something.
Yeah, I've seen that.
You vaguely remember that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he
I remember being
out.
scared of that.
Yeah, man, I was little. I'm still scared of it. Are you serious? It's creepy. It is such a creepy thing. That's what I remember John Lithgow in.
Twilight?
Yeah, the Twilight series, Twilight show. I don't remember what it was called. It was something like that. And then I think he was in Pitch Perfect 3 because I'm in love with Anna Kendrick. What else? I don't remember what else he was in, but he was in a lot of shit.
He's been in all kinds of stuff.
Man, that guy is all over the place. Yeah.
Legend.
So next on my list of things to talk about is cheating in commerce. Because I think we were talking about hookers. And in some areas in the world, if you buy something, it's not cheating.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? And that's... I still feel like that's cheating, though.
No. But like I know there's an Asian country, maybe Japan, maybe. It's like they don't consider it cheating if a man goes to like a brothel and pays for it.
Really?
Yeah. It's like it doesn't count or something.
What? That's crazy. That's cheating. Come on now.
I don't
totally
know.
Cheating.
I don't know if that's universal throughout the society or if it's just prevalent within the society. I don't know. But
one thing I would say is it cheating because I only know what America has bestowed on me, and that's how I grew up with. You know what I mean? If you're grown up and you learn as time goes on, this is how it is. You wouldn't consider it cheating because that's all you know.
Yeah. It's societal norms, It's I think it depends very much on where you grow up. Like in the Philippines, there's no divorce in the Philippines, so it's kind of common for like older couples who would have ended up getting divorced to just kind of
I gotta be
together,
honest.
but not
I wish it was like that here in the United States.
no divorce.
No divorce. The reason being, and I'll give you the reason, because even for me, I would have been a little bit more selective, knowing that I would have to, no matter what, I would have to be with this person for the rest of my life. I would have been a little bit more selective. Now, knowing that I can get divorced and move on brings a different perspective to marriage. I get marriage is supposed to be lifelong and whatnot, but that's not what happens.
I think it's kind of sad in the Philippines because, people get married young and just grow apart. Things happen
Yeah.
that are like,
Exactly.
you end up with serious differences. And it's like maybe that person that you married young isn't the one for you. But you may meet that person down the road.
Right.
And you can't marry them.
That would suck.
You can't.
Yeah, and honestly, there's been a time or two where I thought, I'm in this relationship, but I can't date you or hang out with you because I'm in a relationship, and you were phenomenal. Or vice versa, where I met somebody who was already married, and she was phenomenal, and she, we didn't cheat or anything, but if we had the opportunity to make sparks fly, I'm most positive that we'd be really, even now, we'd be really happy. I've never met, or I've never fucked around with a married person before, but there was a time where I was like, holy fuck, you weren't married. You'd be a lot happier than what you are. And don't get me wrong, that person is very faith driven, and she's sticking it out, which God bless that person. Because honestly, I wouldn't. And maybe that's some of my downfall. Like, there's no loyalty in this world anymore. That's the scary part about it. Mainly in America, there's no loyalty.
Yeah.
It's easy to get divorced. It's easy to pick somebody, get married, have this big fucking wedding. That's like, at least 15 to 40 grand. And you're gonna invite all your people, and you're gonna show off and whatnot. And I think that's where we lose it. I think that's where we lose it, essentially. And me myself, I don't ever want to get married again. The divorce will suck for a male.
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah. There's no incentive to the man to get married.
Not one bit. Not anymore, anyway. It used to be. Back in the day, it used to be. Back in the 50s and 60s, you got married, it was for life.
Yeah.
And you both knew that. And you were very picky about who you chose, and now that was it.
It was a serious thing.
Yeah, you made your bed, you had to lay in it. Now it's so easy just to go get divorced. And then for the female portion, it's easy to get divorced and get money. Mm-hmm. You got to pay you pay alimony and stuff. I'm like, oh God.
Yeah, that's it. Not only is it that there is no incentive for the man to get married, but there is incentive to the woman to end that marriage.
Exactly.
To the detriment of the man.
Exactly.
So for the men, it's like there's reasons to not get married, and there's no reasons to get married.
It's crazy. So I don't know if I'll ever go down that road again. I know you're freshly married. Congratulations.
To a lady not from this country.
Not from this country. That's a good point, actually. But yeah, it's just weird. But essentially, as I'm looking at my list, I think that's the last thing we were going to talk about. So I think we should end this. I don't know how long this podcast is going to be. But thank you for...
There's no rules, man.
There's no rules. We can end it when we want.
Do whatever the fuck we want.
I will say thank you for, again, hopefully the audio is a little bit better. And hopefully you can hear us a little bit easier and it's not weird. We're trying things out. So bear with us as we continue our process of bring you the best podcast in the world. And continue to follow. Make sure you follow. We're on Facebook. We're on TikTok. We're on YouTube. We're on all of it.
Yeah, we're everywhere. Steak Saturday.
Follow us Steak Saturday. I'm talking to Jay. I'm Theo. Thank you guys. See you guys later.
See you next time.